Hey guys, this is MD and welcome to my new series of Learn How to Animate with Anime Studio. Well, this is my new tutorial series, basically teaching you how to animate. You can make your very own cartoons in just one day. And yes, that's possible. How? With a starter program cheaper than a fast food burger, drink, and fries. Yep. And, well, it's about the same price. You know, you get the general idea. It's a few bucks off. Moving on. Here in these tutorials, I'm going to basically be showing you keyframing, lip syncing, bone rigging, motion depth, and some of my own little tiny tips and tricks that I've learned throughout my years of animating and basically make the animation process fun and easier. So basically, these are 100% guaranteed to basically have you graduate animation. Well, YouTube animation, that is. And trust me, these are going to be really easy and fun steps to basically learning the tricks to animating with this particular program, and these tricks will also make the process go by much faster than it would be normal frame-by-frame animation, and even working with other things such as Flash or Adobe and all these other larger animation programs. So yeah, all it takes is a bit of imagination and you can do it. Totally. Legitimately. No, for reals. And all you need is basically Animate Studio. And, well, last time I saw that was running for about $8 on Amazon. Yeah, $8. That's like nothing. But in normal stores such as Best Buy, it goes for about, I think, $32. But honestly, that's not all that bad either. But seriously, last time I checked, it was $8 on Amazon. If you don't have it, get it. If you want anything to animate with, or just to totally learn the basic steps of animation, you gotta get this program. And if you don't have it, well, just put this video in your favorites or watch later and come back to it when you do. Okay. Well, basically, the Anime Studio Debut 6 is easy for beginners. It's not just ideal for you guys, but I can also show you many little tricks to mimic the upgraded versions. So yeah. So, welcome to Star to Behold Lesson 1 in Tools, Getting to Know the Studio. So, let's get started. So basically, when you install your program into either a PC or Macintosh, which basically when you buy it, it gives you the option of having the PC version or the Macintosh. And basically, you're going to have the icon, like all computers. Either if you have a Macintosh, it can be on your dock down here, or you can also have the icon on your desktop. Same with PC. I think you guys get the general idea. So when you first open it up, you're going to get this little tiny thingy. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it either has an introductory tutorial, which basically I'm giving you now. Mine's going to be a lot more in depth. I'm going to be showing you a lot more stuff that their tutorial will never cover, especially in this lower program, because this program, the debut version, you can totally stretch it to where it'll be almost like the upgraded version. It's a little bit more work to get it to look like the upgraded version, but really, like I said, if you just want to start off, yeah, I would totally get this. And you can also register your project, and then contentparadise.com, you can buy stuff for it, like props, but honestly, you can just make your own props. Why do you need to buy the props? Well, you can just simply make your own. Okay, so just to get out of this, you can just click on it. Okay, so the startup file it usually will always have is going to be this character called Thorn. She is basically the main character to, I guess, this program, and basically she has all the little tools, layers, switch layers, bone layers, and all. She's basically completely built, ready to go. Now, you can just totally get rid of her by going up to File up at the top, up here, and then, you know, clicking New. But actually, we're going to be using her as a little way to show you guys how to basically animate her. So let's start with this little baby down here. Okay, so this thing right here is called your bone layer. Now, you can always acquire a new bone layer by going up to this little tiny icon right here that looks like a page. Click on it and you'll have vector layer, image layer, bone layer, switch layer, and audio layer. But as you can see, bone layer is right there. Now you click on that and you get an empty bone layer. But in this case, this bone layer is filled and it also named it Thorn Front. How do you able to name your layers? Well, double click on any layer and it'll give you basically the option to change the name. And all this we'll get into later, but for right now, let's just start with the basic tools. Okay, so you're going to have your bone layer. Now your bone layer is the layer that controls the action of the bones. And these little babies inside of her right here are the bones. The bones basically create movement for the character. So let's say, for instance, I want to move one of her bones. I can grab the bone tool and basically move her in different fashion, ways, or whatnot. Okay, but for right now, I'll just work on one layer at a time. Now, as you can see, this little belt front, this is known as your normal layer. It's a vector layer. So basically, your vector layer is the layer that you can also create something with. You can draw an image or in there or whatever. So let's say, you go back up to the page, you can click on vector. So let's click on vector here. And I'm gonna double click layer 2, because that's what it's called right now. And I'm gonna rename it circle. Press enter or OK, whichever one you wanna do. Now, let's say I wanna draw a circle. Now I can do one of a few things. I can either go right here to this pencil, or you can press F for freehand, and I can grab it, and I can also just, click the mouse, drag it, and make the best circle possible. Okay, and here I got a circle that's white because of the fact that I didn't change the color yet. It's at the default color, which is white. But as you can see, basically, I have a white, really cruddy looking circle. Now let's say I want to do a normal circle, a perfectly perfect circle. They're actually going to give you the option of these draw shapes, which you can also push E for one of your smart keys, or click the little shape icon right here. And in this case, you'll get up at the top here, you'll get a square, you'll get a circle, triangle, shapes, arrows and squiggly lines and all that stuff. So basically, you would click circle here, and you click and drag, and you can get a perfect circle, oval, anything you want. See? Very simple, very easy, step by step, yada yada yada. Now let's say I want to get rid of the circle. Now I can do one of two things. I can either get rid of the entire layer by going over to this little trash can, clicking it, and pushing yes, I want to delete it. Or if I don't want to delete the layer because I have all these other shapes that I made in the layer, I can simply press D on the keyboard, or go to this little thing up here that's basically delete edge, and I can basically hold it down, the mouse down, and basically they all go away. Now those little tiny red dots that you saw here, let me make another circle real quick. Okay, so basically these little red dots that you see here, these are called your points, your vector points. And the vector points is basically, it has to do with everything when it comes to this type of animation. These vector points are the most important. Your vector points are basically the points in the computer picks up in the program to basically move or change the shape. So for instance, if I push up here, this thing, you can push translate points or T on the keyboard. I can select all of them by either clicking, in between the line, or going up to this select points up here and highlighting them all. Or I can select a single point by just clicking on a single point, and by doing that, I'm able to drag this point, and thus you see the shape is moving with it and is adapting with it and everything else. Okay, so you basically can make any shape with this, or you can even add points. Let's say you want to add a few points to this circle. You can press A on your keyboard, or go over here on this little icon, add point, and you can basically go around and adding your points. Add, drag them, see, I'm adding several more points to it, and basically I can make a whole bunch of different more shapes other than a plain Jane circle. Okay, and you can just get rid of all these. Okay. Now, this option right here, this little T that you're probably wondering about, this option right here is actually a text tool. Now the text tool is simply to add in, let's say you want to add in a text in the background. Let's say you make a city background and you want to put like Whoopee Cushion Incorporated, a big sign. You would click it. Now I'm not going to click this because this actually takes a little time to load, and the reason why is because it's literally having to create about 100 different fonts for you to choose from, and it creates literally different shapes in the shapes of the font letters. So basically sometimes there'll be letters with like 20 different points on it that we were talking about, over here, these little points, and that's how it basically creates the shape. Now this little layer right here is called scale points. You can also push S for it. Now scaling these points is simply just, making it bigger, like this, maybe squeezing it in or squeezing this in, either or, it still works as size. And this thing which here, which you can push R, is rotate your points, which in case, as you can guess, you can just rotate. Now you might be wondering what this little cross is here for. Now this cross is the center of this shape, the center of this layer. So basically, it is the dead center of basically the shape. So basically, this little baby, you can find it right over here, down at the bottom. It's basically the same shape as you see here. You can just push 0 to get it, and as you can see, it is right here. You can also drag it around too. This is how you can change the center of your shape. And basically, this is the entire layer editor, which means you can, instead of just messing with, for example, I got 2 circles here. And let's say I want to rotate this circle here, but the other one's not rotating. Why is that? Well, because you're only rotating the one shape. You only selected the one shape. Let's say you want to rotate the entire layer. You're going to go down to here under the layer section. You're going to push either 1 for translate layer, which you can just move the entire layer, see both of them move, or you can push scale layer, larger, smaller, scrunched. You know, basically the same thing as selecting just the simple shape and doing it, and then rotate the layer. So there you go. Also, you have these options here. These are basically your color code options, such as, you know, fill. And you can click on this and say I go up to this little color code box here, and I can change the color to red. Push OK, and boom, bada bing, there you go, a red circle. Or I can basically push Q instead. If you want to cheat and just push Q, you'll also be able to select the fill tool. Click on this one. I want to change this one to green. Okay. And there you go. Now, one little trick that I learned the hard way. Let's say you see how this is all checkered like this? The reason why is because you have selected that color. Now, I learned this the hard way. Basically, what happens is if you do not click outside of that shape, like here, and get rid of it, that will come back to haunt you if you just leave it like this. Reason why, let's say you have this color. You found this perfect color from another layer, and you want to come back to this layer and fill in maybe one of these circles with that color. Well, if you have this selected and you come back to this layer, it will automatically get rid of your color and change it back to this green, the color that you've selected. It's a miserable thing to do. So out of a habit, every time I fill in a color, I automatically click out of the color. I take away that selected color, checkered thing of death, honestly, that just comes back to haunt me all the time. Now, right here is your little bucket. Now this bucket, basically, as you can guess, you're able to fill an entire color. As you can see, I just turn that all green, or I can turn purple. Select yourself out of there. And basically, you can also delete shapes, in which case you took away the color completely. Or you can also add widths to your lines. Now basically these line widths, you might be wondering, what are they? Now basically these line widths are basically that little outline you see. Now if you press W on your keyboard, or go over here, you can basically make the line thicker or practically nothing. Now let's say you just want to make, you can either select one point, like one point here, and make the area around this a lot thicker. So for example, just press T, press W, and I just made around just this one point the stroke thicker. They're called strokes, by the way. That's the proper term for them. I just couldn't think of that at the time. So I could create an eyeball right now. Watch. Here's the eyelashes. Just shorten these. Change the color to white. And give them green eyes. And black too. Give them a little white glare. Rotate it. Okay, so basically to make that eye, I just created all the different tools and options I just showed you right now. Now, okay, as you can see, sometimes these little options are grayed out, and now, as you can see, I seem to have skipped a few of these because they were grayed out at the time. Well, this one over here, this little scatter brush, if you click on it, you can go up to here at the top here, and it gives you the choice of bubbles, leaves, letters, smoke, or stars. Now what this is simply, it's just a scatter brush that gives you the option of, let's say you just want to, instead of putting in drawing 1,000 bubbles, you can just do this yourself. And basically the program gives you the option of being able to paste these in without having to draw about 1 billion of them. And let's say you want to undo this. Just go up to Edit, Undo. See, it's like most different programs. Edit, Undo. Or Edit, Redo. You got Cut, Copy, Clear. Basically, this runs like, you know, like a normal typing program, actually, believe it or not. Okay, so let me get rid of this eye. And then we're just go over here to Delete Layer. And yes, I want to delete the eye. Now, I'm going to want to go over to this little page again. I'm going to want to select an image layer. Now I'm going to show you what the image layer is. Now, basically, selecting an image layer is basically, let's say I want to import an image that I drew, like a background. I'm going to find the image I want, such as sky, and I'm going to put it in. As you can see, I got my sky. Now, this little box right here, let me just go on to this part since you might be wondering what this box is. This box is the frame. It is the size of the camera. Anything outside of this won't be picked up in your animation. So, you know, in most cases, I like to make my background the same size as the frame, you know. And in a lot of cases, sometimes I might need to change the size or placement of the background, but basically, anything that falls outside of this little box, it will not be in the animation. I have accidentally sometimes left out things outside of the box thinking they were going to be in there, and I've made a mistake, and they never showed up in the final rendered finished product. Okay, so let's get rid of the sky. Let's move on to the next type of layer. You got your bone layer. Now basically your bone layer is a layer that needs other layers to have the bone layer possible and make it work. So for example, you can take a vector layer and you can drag it inside of the actual bone layer. See how it's inside, like almost like a file. Now let's say I want to make okay, I'm going to add 3 layers in there by pushing. By the way, you can also duplicate your layers by pushing this little page with a plus on it, and you could actually, like, I can duplicate, like, you know, 10 thorns. Like for example, press duplicate. There are 2 thorns. See? So instead of having to redraw another thorn or import another thorn, you can basically duplicate a thorn. Okay. So as you can see here, I'm going to add in 3 shapes here. A head. I'm going to add in a neck, and I'm going to add in a body. I have no idea what I'm making, but I am making something very quick. Okay, so as you can see here, I have made a very cheap looking character. Okay, now basically, let's say I want to put bones in this guy. I want to make this guy move. I want to make him basically, I want to work the bone tool. This is how you're going to work it. Okay, so basically you can either click this thing right here, or you can press the A button on the keyboard, and basically you can add bones in this guy, you know, 1 for his body, 1 for his neck, 1 for his head. Then, you know, if you want to move it, you press the Z, and up there he goes, he's moving. Ooh, look at him go. Okay, but I don't want to get into this too much with the bone layers because that's going to be a whole separate lesson itself. I'm just getting you familiar with the basic tools, where they are, and basically what's their basic function. I don't want to overload you guys with too much, as you can see. So yes. Now let's explore Thorn a bit, since I said I was going to show you guys how she's built right now. She's built of actually several layers that are laid over on top of each other. Now basically that's the whole thing about animation, is even in, you know, frame by frame animation, a lot of it is layered. It's not just like one single layer drawn on to a single frame and then it continues on from there on. It's actually several frames and several layers. I'm sorry, several layers that are placed on top of each other. Such as, look, you got her mouth layer. This is one single layer herself. If I get rid of it, see, you got the eyes, got the left hand poses, right hand poses. You got the whole body, which actually seems to disappear. And you got her scabbard and her sword. Okay, so basically, now what these little eyes are here is you can hide the layer. So if I want to hide her, she just kind of disappears. Now she's still there. I didn't delete her from the project. I just hid her away. Let's say you want to work on, like, you know, maybe a waterfall that's falling behind her, but she's in the way, and you already placed her and you already animated her in the way you wanted, but you don't want to move her. Well, you just hide her. Simple as that. You can see right past her. Okay, so basically, this next layer I wanted to show you was called a switch layer, and I'm actually going to use her as an example of the switch layer. Now the switch layer is basically what allows eyes blinking, lips moving, and different hand motions or even body motions, basically. So let's say I right click. Now you got to right click on the actual file right here, and it's going to give me all these layers that are inside that, by the way, someone already made, such as these little mouth actions. Oh, and here's another example of why those stupid color codes, you need to get rid of them. As you can see here, her mouth's all checkered. It changed my color option up here. Watch, I'll do it again. It's going to change it to white because her teeth were selected, and yeah, it's miserable when that happens. So just a word of warning. I want to help you guys avoid issues, so you guys don't have to restart your animations constantly like I did when I had to learn this whole process. It's very annoying if you don't get it right the first time because you wind up having to redo it. But if you guys basically follow my steps, you won't practically ever have to redo your animations or even the actual models themselves, such as Thorn. I've had to actually redo entire models of Luna or Cotton several times just to get them the way I wanted them to be because I did not do them right the first time. Okay, now let's see. Now the mouth, you right click it and you can also choose a different mouth option. So, basically depending on your audio, and we'll get into basically audio later. Same thing with the eyes, and eyes joy, eyes squint. Whoa, that's a little freaky. Okay, now these are actually very simple eyes. These eyes really are literally one single layer. Now the cool thing about the single layer eyes is they come in handy in so many different ways because you're able to maybe translate the eye movements into each other, such as, let's say I click on this, I go to switch layer, interpolate sublayers. Okay, this is all going to sound gibberish right now. I'm skipping ahead of myself, but I just want to give you guys an example of the benefits of one layer. Whoa, that did not turn out right. Okay, I've never done that with Thorn. Maybe there's a reason why she was never given that option. Okay, so basically, just to let me try her mouth. Maybe her mouth will get me better luck in this. Okay, let's say I change her mouth. Basically, this option is to give a smoother transition between different mouth options. As you can see, that's not working because whoever built her originally did not plan on me doing this. Okay, basically, I'm going to be showing you some tricks in the future to basically make lip syncing extremely smooth, to where instead of it just snapping to the next image, it'll actually blend into each other. Not like her eyes there, but actually it'll work out a million times better than that. Okay, so basically that is all your basic tools. Down here is your timeline, which basically you're able to scroll. You got your seconds, 24 frames per second. You got the actual amount of frame time down here. You got your play button, your stop, your skip, all that stuff. You got your sequencer, which you're able to actually mess with the layers themselves and also mess with the timing of the layers and the keyframes. Okay, you also have your camera tool down here, which you can press 4, and in this case you're able to move the camera around. Now it may look like I'm moving Thorn around, but in reality I'm moving the camera around. Same thing if you push 5, it's the scale camera. 6, it's the rotate camera. So it's almost like these options up here and these options up here. It's basically all the same. So this is basically the basic tools of running Anime Studio. Next time I'm going to be getting into actually starting creating a character, and the character for that is actually going to be Chibi Cotton. Now the reason why I'm going to be making a Chibi Cotton, he's one of my characters, Cotton the Dragon, is because I'm working on this new animation, which actually is a remake of It's Tough to Be a God. If you guys remember that, so far it's my most popular video I have. It's over 1,000 views, and I thought about doing like a remake it meme. Those little redraw this memes they have on DeviantArt. So that, and I think everyone would really like to see an updated version of that song because everyone seems to really enjoy that song. So yeah, this is basically the first lessons to Anime Studio. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Guys, this is a system I would totally get if I were you. It's fun, it's easy. As you can see, the tools are all right there for you. Nothing's really out of sight. And for PC users, it's basically all the same. The whole setup is the same as my Macintosh version. So yeah, join me next week for basically the second lesson, and we'll actually get started with actually making a character. And I'm going to be getting into full depth of basically making your animations look professional, like the ones on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. We're going to get into a lot of depth here, but it's going to be very simple and very easy to do. And I'm getting spammed up here. Spam! Okay guys, well, this is MD signing out. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys have any questions, if you have anything maybe I possibly may have missed, or you guys didn't understand or anything, leave a comment below. You know, so go to my channel, take a look if you guys are new and have never seen my videos before. I got loads of animations on there, and kind of take a look at what I do. See if you guys are interested in my tutorials, because I'm hoping to make I'm hoping to basically inspire people out there to try animation. I want to see people, like, you know, put out some videos and say, hey MD, look what I did, and you know, basically that would be really awesome. You know, have people animate things that are from their own imagination, their own minds. You know, that's really the cool thing about animation. It's being able to take whatever's in your mind and make it a reality. Make those dreams of yours a reality. Well, as close as you can, and that is actually called animation for you. So, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. Later, guys.